Many years ago, a young red Sonja's homeland Hyrcania is destroyed by barbarians who slaughtered most of her people, forcing her, along with many, to flee into the vast woods. Sonja grows up to know the ways of the forest. Separated from her group, she consciously searches every day for other members of her tribe while worshipping a forest goddess named Ashera. One day, Sonja runs into a few mercenaries who infiltrates the forest, hunting animals for their horns. She tracks them down and quickly learns that they collect exotic creatures for gladiator games in honor of Emperor Dragon, a ruthless warlord who could have a hand in the persecution of her people. That night, the Emperor arrives to inspect the animals. On his arrival, Commander Artran gives the Emperor a situation report of his machines and the extent of work done in the forest. He takes a look at the captured slaves and picks out a former king of Turan who recognizes Dragon, but the Emperor remembers being spat at by the great king. He requests for the missing half of the Book of Secrets, but the former king claims to not know the whereabouts of the book. Sonja watches and learns that her people were destroyed by Dragon's predecessor, Anzus, whom Dragon defeated with his machines. He claims that knowledge is the fountain of his great power, and he will use it to destroy the forest as his conquest of the world continues. Dragon orders Karlach to execute the ex-king. Having heard enough, Sonja comes out of hiding and first attacks the hunters for their cruelty. She proceeds to release the exotic creatures when Anicia catches her in the act. A bloody fight ensues, and while at it, Sonja notices Anicia speaking to herself and wonders if she is possessed. The duo continue fighting until Dragon and his men take notice of them. The Emperor is particularly impressed at Sonja's fighting skills. Dragon gets hold of a map of the Hyrcania forest, which exposes Sonja's search for something, or rather, someone. She lynches Dragon, who orders for her to join the Damnati, and she is immediately taken to the capital where she beats her transporters just because they took her dear horse. Sonja wakes up in a pit containing slaves used to impress the Emperor in the fighting games. She takes an old lady captive while everyone stares at her in a rather nonchalant manner. Dragon summons his smartest scientist, who wonders why the Emperor is so obsessed with finding the other half of the Book of Secrets. Dragon thinks that Sonja's map would guide him towards narrowing down the precise location of the other half of the book. He believes that the Book of Secrets in its complete form is the key to shaping his future. All the slaves watch as Sonja climbs out of the pit and begins to take out the guards, but is contained and thrown back into the pit. The slaves reveal that Anicia was first a child slave before she became a Damnati, and today she is Dragon's most trusted female warrior. Anicia is under a curse placed on her by Dragon to ensure she remains loyal. She hears the voices of ghosts tormenting her to do things she is unwilling to. Dragon achieved this using an ancient scientific knowledge, which is the root of his power. Sonja meets Osin the Untouched, a slave that no one has ever touched with a sword. The arena is set as the slaves prepare to fight. Ashman gives weapons to the slaves who are very much ready to meet their end in the arena, a fate much expected than the life in a hold-up pit. Sonja joins the other Damnati, then Dragon orders her to fight Petra. Her refusal leads to the gruesome murder of Petra in the arena.
Ignore them all.
This one's touched by madness.
By the goddess, I will not fight you.
Such a shame she's about to die.
That's better that way.
In honor of Petra, a fallen Damnati, Sonja raises a song, and a chorus is initiated by Dyax, who happens to be Hyrcanian. When he notices that Sonja is Hyrcanian as well, he is excited. Dragon and his scientist have managed to capture a strange beast using a device called the Yoke, a mind-controlling technology he intends to use in conquering the world. Sonja is brought into a gathering inside a mobile cage to add a splash of color to the event. Dragon gloats over his conquest from sea to sea, threatening to destroy the forest from where Sonja came from. He brings out the Book of Secrets, which she recognizes, a book which was in the possession of her mom. The fights continue as several Damnati are executed. Today, Sonja is not fighting, so she instructs Osin to not let Dyax die in the arena. Sonja later changes her mind against the orders of Dragon and enters the arena, asking for a fight.
Is it not what you want?
A massive Cyclops is brought forth with a device on its back meant to control it. Sonja rips off the device from the back of the Cyclops and convinces the creature that Dragon is the real enemy and not the slaves. The Cyclops charges at Dragon, destroying their tent and injuring the Emperor, who is rescued by Karlach. Sonja fights her way through the guards and enters Dragon's lab, where she finds and destroys the Emperor's energy device before fleeing on her horse. Sonja and the slave fighters escape to the mountains, and after a brief travel, Osen stops, saying that his kingdom lies to the south. Then, Sonja realizes that he is actually a prince whose people were attacked by Dragon and his armies. After killing the scouts sent by the ruthless Emperor, Sonja changes her plan from searching for her people to leading Dragon and his armies away from them. The newly liberated slaves stand with Sonja as Archon returns to Dragon, saying that the Red Devil Sonja came back out of nowhere and destroyed their camp in an ambush. Anicia proposes that they strike first, but Sonja steps out. Then Dragon throws Deix's head, which causes Sonja depression for a few days. More Hyrcanians emerge from the forest, the last of them. They inform Sonja that Dragon is coming to destroy what's left of the tribe, but a lady reveals the other half of the Book of Secrets. A part of the book was taken, and the other half picked up by the little boy who read the book and got exposed to secrets that would lift him from slavery to become Dragon. Sonja proposes they make a stand and fight Dragon, or they'll forever be hunted by his armies. Dragon arrives and instructs his army to burn down the forest. He promises Anicia he will marry her if she brings him Sonja's head. The battle begins, then Sonja and Anicia face off in combat. After a tough fight, Anicia defeats Sonja, stabbing and leaving her to die. Sonja's horse takes her to the temple of the forest goddess, Ashera, in the heart of the forest. In a near-death delirium, Sonja sees Ashera speak to her in the guise of her late mom. Ashera heals Sonja and charges her to go back to battle to bring justice to the evildoers. Sonja's allies are taken hostage by the demented Dragon. He finds the other half of the Book of Secrets and instructs Artren to kill the priestess, and when he refuses, Dragon attempts to kill her when Sonja enters the scene, reuniting with her allies who thought she was dead. Osen returns with his army, and together, they begin a revolution which Dragon has never experienced. He confronts Anicia, who told him that Sonja was dead, and during their conversation, Anicia comes to understand that Dragon caused her schizophrenia with fake medicines. They quarrel, and in the heat of the moment, they stab each other, then Dragon escapes into the wilderness. Sonja tracks the fallen emperor and confronts him as he takes his dying breaths. Still obsessed with the book, in this moment, he acknowledges that the second half of the book is worthless, since it focuses on healing and nature instead of power and energy. Sonja reveals that she knows he was also a child refugee of Hyrcania, and feels responsible for his dark turn in life because they were together until she lost connection to him after the disaster. Dragon dies holding Sonja's hand, and the ripped pages of the book are lost in the wilderness. She returns to Dragon's camp, now taken over by allied forces, instructing them to bury the Emperor as a Hyrcanian. She leaves the forest to see more of the world. Years later, one of the fighter allies finds her in a tavern, and she knows it's time for a new adventure. This is Falcon Recaps. Thanks for watching.